You can just see the screen, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So we will dive into it. So before, I suppose, yeah, you kick off, you will need a pen and paper. So there's going to be, um,
Give me one sec.
yeah. So anybody watching the recording as well, there you will need a pen and paper because there's going to be lots of actionable steps as we go through each of the parts.
Got it.
Cool, cool. So yeah, so as we kind of go through it, will be lots of actionable steps as well. So there'll be lots of places to write down because this is really about, I suppose. I suppose one reflecting on your last year, on the last year, and now thinking about the year ahead, and trying
Mhm.
to put things in place, and kind of really kind of figuring out what it is that's most important to you, and what it is you really want to try and focus on moving forward, and then trying to put actionable steps in for each of those things that you want to try and focus on. So, as I said there, like the first part is really just about reflecting on your last year. So obviously it's about looking at like this time last year, like what commitments were you making to yourself? Like were you kind of starting off the new year saying, right, I want to start eating better, I want to start moving more, I want to start like what are some of the things that you wanted to do? So that's something even just giving yourself a second or even just to write one or two things down. Um, and then I suppose like once you've kind of written that down, the next question then is how did that go for you? So, did you actually take action on getting to the gym, getting out for walks, eating better, do more fun stuff for yourself? So, what any other things as well? It doesn't have to be kind of fitness related. It could be kind of lifestyle related as well. Like, are those things that did you kind of follow through with those things throughout the year? So that's just something to kind of really think about and reflect on. Um, and if you did kind of go through those things and you did take action, like what kind of impact did it have for you? So if your goal was to lose weight and stuff, did you manage to lose the weight? And how does that kind of look like for you right now? And what are some of the, I suppose, some of the positive changes that you did make looking at this time last year? And then the last thing then is about something to think about is like, what are the things you wish you'd done? So again, it's kind of reflecting back on saying, right, when New Year comes, I'm gonna get healthier, I'm gonna start moving more, I want to get stronger, I want to get fitter, I want to whatever else it is. Um, and then if they kind of fizzled away and they went out the window, like you need to think about why didn't you actually follow through with the stuff? Because obviously if things came up or if it was just motivation or if you just, I suppose, didn't believe that you could do it. So they're the things that you want that may probably pop up again. And they're the things that we want to try and work on today to make sure that you are actually progressing and moving forward this year rather than just letting things kind of slip away. Does that kind of make sense?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. So that's the first part. Um, about kind of reflecting. The next part then is what are your top five goals you want to achieve in 2025? So you don't have to write this down yet because we're going to go a little bit more in depth into this now in a second. So there's going to be a few different areas that we're going to look at. It's not just I want to drop body fat or I want to get fitter or stronger stuff. We want to look at stuff like your fitness, your health, family, career, personal life. So we want to try and look at a broad range of different things that you really want to start focusing on. Because when you kind of, I suppose, focus on a broad range of things, you're going to have so many other goals that will kind of, I suppose, start to come up. That and as well, we want to kind of look at it at a much deeper level rather than just saying, "Oh, I just want to lose weight," because at the end of the day, it's more about how you feel about yourself. So we want to try and connect with the feelings and emotions and stuff as well that you really want to start connecting with. And one of the things as well is that to think about is if you could remove all barriers that held you back, who would you become and what could you achieve in all these different areas as well? So that's something to really kind of think about because a lot of times when we don't achieve stuff or we start to work towards our goals, we fall off track. It's a lot of times it's our own internal belief or other things that may pop up. So when we're kind of going through each of these stages or areas now in a minute, I want you to try and really focus on removing all those barriers, removing all those blockages, and removing anything that you feel could ever hold you back to becoming who you want to be and achieving the things that you want to be able to achieve. And obviously by doing that, it allows you to broaden your thinking a bit more. Because again, a lot of times we can get in our own way when we want to try and work towards things. But kind of when we remove that, you basically become unstoppable for yourself. So, the first one that we're going to try and dive into is around our fitness goals. And remember, at the end of the day, like everybody has their own individual goals, so it's completely up to you what you kind of want to focus on, what you want to be able to achieve. So, there's a couple of questions I want you to answer. So, first off, what are your fitness goals? And when you kind of think about fitness goals, think about how do you want to look? How do you want to feel when you see yourself in the mirror? What kind of body fat percent do you want to be, or what weight do you want to be? How strong do you want to feel? So there are some of the things that you want to really kind of think about when it comes to your fitness. So it's not just about saying, yeah, I want to be able to run 5K and that's it. So you want to try and go at a much deeper level when you're thinking about your kind of fitness goals. So whatever kind of pops into mind there, write them down. Also as well, think about how strong do you want to be, or how strong do you want to feel? Like, is there kind of specific lifts in the gym that you want to be able to achieve that you feel that you haven't been able to do in the past or whatever? Also as well, like in terms of fitness goals, it could be I want to be able to run 10K or a half marathon or swim a certain distance or try some sort of new sport or hike up a mountain or do a triathlon or so it's about kind of really kind of broadening your thinking and kind of really kind of setting goals as well, that even goals that you feel you'd love to be able to do, but you may not believe you could do them. I think it's important to be able to write those things down as well. Because when you kind of start pushing yourself outside your, I suppose, your comfort zone in terms of the things you can achieve, when you start to write them down, subconsciously, you could actually start to build that belief in yourself that you could actually start to do it, or you could actually start to come up with ideas in your head as well of going, do you know what, actually, maybe I could try and push to do a marathon, or I could try and push to, I don't know, hike a mountain or do a triathlon or lift a certain amount of weight. And it all comes back to setting those little targets and using them as stepping stones to actually get to where you want to be. So that's the first one in around your fitness goals. So hopefully you can write some stuff down for that. The next one then we're going to be looking at is your health goals. So again, rather than just writing down, I just want to feel healthier. There's a few kind of different questions as well based around this that it'll help you kind of dive a little bit deeper. So the first is, how do you want to feel? Was it more energized? You want to feel happier? You want to kind of feel healthier? You want to sleep better? So these can be different areas or different ways of looking at health goals. You want to be eating better. And then the next question then is in what way do you want to be able to improve your health? So again, like having health issues and stuff like that, saying, you know what, I really want to try and work on this. So I know even caring for you, is it about looking at, right, I need to improve my diet a bit more for your own gut? So that
Yeah,
kind
absolutely. Yeah, 100% I've got it written down.
The next question then around is, how do you want your eating habits to look like? So looking at your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, what kind of snacks. So really, this is kind of really thinking in an ideal world, what would you like it to look like? Because again, like it's not about just waking up tomorrow and saying, right, everything's going to be perfect. But if you kind of have a little bit of a structure in place and kind of have an idea what each meal or what snacks that you know you should be eating looks like, you can slowly then start building on incorporating them into your kind of daily routine. Another one then around health goals is what do you want your training habits to look like? So again, this could come back to the amount of days you train per week, what kind of times you go to the gym, how long you spend in the gym. Even getting out doing other stuff doesn't have to necessarily be in the gym. It could be out going for a run. It could be even getting your steps and going for walks, stuff like that. Going away on a weekend and hiking up a mountain. So again, there's lots of different kind of ways to be looking at this. I mean, again, looking at the health goals as well, like there's other stuff as well you could be looking at, like personal development, stress management, your inner happiness, how you actually want to show up to yourself each day. And then even looking at, I suppose, sleep habits as well, because that would all kind of fall in under health. So like, do you need to improve on your sleep? Do you need to get to bed earlier? Do you need to get up at a certain time every day? Do you need to stop scrolling on your phone for a couple of hours before you go to bed? Because obviously these are all kind of little things that can help improve your sleep. So even adding in things like meditation and stuff like that to keep your mind a bit more at ease before you even go to bed so that you sleep, have a lot deeper sleep. Cool. So then the next one after that is around family goals. So again, obviously this isn't going to reflect on if you don't have kids and stuff like that, but obviously it can still be in a way to showing up for your partner and stuff like that, or things you want to do. So family goals could be, I suppose, yeah, like I said, how you want to kind of show up every day, how you want to kind of see yourself with your family, fun things you want to kind of do together. Another thing as well is, I suppose this is kind of even a big one for me, and what kind of pushes me is becoming more of an inspiration to my own kids and my own family. Just kind of making sure that they kind of see me making, going training, making better choices and stuff like that. So being kind of that inspiration of health to them as well. So it's about, again, it's about asking yourself, what can you start doing different yourself? And how do you want to kind of show up? Another thing as well is, how can you start encouraging other people to be healthier or eating better and stuff like that? And then the last part of that is about thinking about what are some, I suppose, fun activities you could be doing with your family then as well. Again, come back to doing hikes, swimming, other kind of fun activities, going bowling or whatever it is. So again, it's always kind of looking for ways that has that element of feeling fitter or feeling healthier and stuff that you can kind of incorporate into your daily routine as well. Cool. Next one then is onto career goals. So I suppose the first question to ask yourself is what you're doing right now fulfilling for you? So is what you're doing something that you'd really, really enjoy? And if not, then it's just about asking yourself, okay, cool, what could you be doing different? Or what is there another path that you could be taking for yourself? And even around career goals as well, it's asking yourself, I suppose, even again, reflecting back on last year and seeing where you were at this time last year, and asking yourself, what kind of progress have you made for yourself in looking at your career and stuff? And then looking from here forward and asking yourself, where would you like to see yourself in 12 months from now? So like, is what you're doing right now, is there room for you to actually start moving up the ladder and moving forward? And if there is, and if that's something you do want to do, that's just asking yourself, okay, what steps do you feel you could start making right now that would help you take that step moving forward? So like, is there other things you need to learn? Is there courses you need to do? Is there people that you need to reach out and talk to? So again, it's just, again, comes back to broadening your thinking and your belief on what you believe you can achieve and where you actually can kind of go when you kind of look at your career. Cool. So then as we move on from there, we're looking at personal and life goals. So first one is, how do you want to look in 12 months from now? So again, looking at from today to the start of 2026, how do you want to look and feel? And then the next question I want you to ask yourself is, list 5 things you would really like to be able to achieve. So again, thinking back to what I was saying a while ago about your superhero self, if nothing could stand in your way, if there's no barriers that could stop you, what are 5 things you would really like to be able to achieve? And even then from there, the next question is, who do you want to be? So again, this is thinking about your superhero self, or it could be someone that you're really inspired by. And you could just kind of look at their attributes and stuff like that and say, you know what, I'd love to be able to be more like this person, or I'd love to be able to be more like that person, or be more confident in myself, or So whatever it is, you just need to try to really focus on you. And again, don't let any kind of negative self-doubt hold you back. Then the last question on this is, if you were to create a list of 5 things you would like to add to a bucket list, what would they be? So it doesn't matter if these things feel unachievable right now, but still kind of write them down. Again, like even kind of writing down those bucket list things, it's really about setting them in your subconscious. Because if it's something that you truly, really want to be able to do eventually, then you will start creating a plan in the back of your own head about how you can actually get to achieving those and doing those things. Cool. So as we move on from there now, what we want to do is we want to write a list of 5 potential challenges that may come up and stop you from achieving what it is you want to be able to achieve this year. So this could be work, it could be yourself, your own beliefs, motivation, self-doubt, bad habits, not seeing results in yourself. These are all kind of things that could get in the way and stop you from moving forward. So this kind of comes back to what I was saying a while ago at the start, that about thinking back last year, that you may have had some goals or some things you wanted to be able to achieve, but things may have stopped you from achieving them, or even taking any step in trying to achieve them. So that's what we want to do right now, is we want to try and come up with those potential challenges. And it could be things that you have faced before. So what we want to do is we want to kind of shed a bit of a light on those things right now so that we can start to work on them. Because when you start to work on these things right now, when they do come up, you will have a bit of a plan in place then how to overcome them. Good. So now for each of the potential barriers that you've written down, I want you to write down how you will overcome them if they do pop up or if they do get in the way. Or even things like motivation, like what can you do to boost your motivation if you do start to lack motivation? And many times when it's motivation that gets in the way, it's a lot of times if you just start pushing through, especially with your training and stuff, because when you start moving more, you start feeling better, you start making better choices. When you start making better choices and stuff, that's when you actually start to feel better, you start to feel more energized, you feel fitter, you feel stronger, your body fat starts to drop, and that kind of reboots your motivation and to keep on going. It's just about having, I suppose, those little breakthroughs and knowing how to overcome the barriers then. Again, another one, if it's bad habits that keep popping up, then it's about asking yourself, how can you overcome those habits? And usually habits are formed over time. They don't just happen overnight. So when you want to create good habits and reduce down the bad habits, it's just about finding something else that you can be doing that you know is going to be benefit to you rather than having that negative effect towards you. So for each of those barriers now, that's something that you always want to kind of suppose keep in the back of your mind, that whatever kind of area you're looking at, on fitness, on health, on your personal goals, your life goals or career goals or whatever, just thinking about those barriers. So when they do pop up, because barriers will always pop up, everybody has setbacks along the way. But when they do come up and you do understand already how to overcome them, it makes it so much easier than to keep yourself moving forward. And anytime barriers do pop up as well, it just has to remind yourself that it's just part of the journey, that these things will always happen, that you'll always have setbacks, that you'll always have things that get in the way. And when you kind of learn to keep overcoming them, I suppose you're building up your own mental resilience as well. so that eventually nothing can stop you, that you'll always have that mental strength to be able to overcome stuff. Cool. So hopefully you got a few things down for that. So that kind of brings us, I suppose, towards the end of this session anyway. And just to kind of summarize, so you basically have the ability to achieve all you want once you're 100% committed to making it happen. And like I said, about stepping into your own superhero self and ask yourself, what would they do? So that just kind of comes back to removing all those mental blockages, mental barriers, and if nothing could stand in your way, what would your superhero self do? The next thing then is just about planning out your days, weeks, months, and then get into work. So like you said a while ago, just thinking about those goals that you have, that you've written down for each of the different areas, and then just kind of even breaking them down a little bit further. Like I said a minute ago as well, you don't have to try and achieve everything tomorrow, but if you start putting those small little things in place, eventually those little things will start to lead into bigger things. And before you know it, a couple of months will have passed, and you'll definitely be working towards whatever you want to achieve. Remember, barriers will always arrive, but once you're prepared, you can easily start to overcome them. So it's just about making your 2025 then incredible for yourself.
Do it.
That's it, my lad. That's it. So,
Pretty good.
any questions at all, Kieran?
No, I think it was good to reflect and to write some stuff down because it's actionable and it's accountable. You know, I'm accountable to myself, obviously, but when you write stuff, when you get something out of your head and you write it down, or you tell somebody that your plan is, it becomes real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's I suppose that's another really important part, as well as having someone to say it to.
yeah,
So like even if you wanted to write a couple of things down, pop them up inside the group for anybody else watching this back.
yep,
Pop up your goals in your group, because again, like you said there, you're kind of putting it out there,
yep.
but
Accountability, like,
not just kind of holding it to yourself, and you're just
yeah,
kind of creating that accountability.
yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
that's one of the most important things anyway, with trying to achieve stuff, is having that accountability.
It
Having
is, yeah,
just to You have to just check in with you, just say, right, what are you doing this? Have you done that?
yeah, yeah. It's that and the time management as well, or that's my big thing to make sure you're sticking to a plan. Like, have it organized, have your stuff organized. Otherwise, it's just chaos and it'll never happen.
Yeah.
That's what I found. Anyway, good intentions, or you just need to have a plan and stick to it.
Yeah. No, 100%. So it's just about getting stuck in now,
Yeah,
just making it happen. And like I said a minute ago, it's not about trying to do everything at one go,
yeah,
but just trying to, like you said, plan out your weeks, plan out your days,
yeah,
making
yeah,
sure that you're doing some of the things that you know you need to be doing or know you want to be doing.
yeah. Just
And
the food as well is key for me. Like, I was just thinking about there. I trained a lot last year. All right, I had a surgery as well, which kind of fucked it up. But like, I never really focused on the food at all. So you're never going to train a bad diet. Like,
no,
just no matter what I do, like, you're never going to see the improvements that I need. I'm just about to have myself some lovely beef cheeks here that I've been cooking for the last 3 hours, and
lovely stuff.
and I have my app, my fitness pal that I've everything into, so it's all good.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, so keep banging all your food into the MyFitnessPal.
I am, yeah,
And even as well, like if you want to do it as a way of keeping you accountable, take a screenshot of your MyFitnessPal every day and pop it up in the group.
yeah, sure,
Do that.
yeah, we'll do. All right, Steve. Cheers.